Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Paul, hopefully having an amazing day. Several generations ago of GeForce products, you could SLI graphics cards together to have much more graphical power. So for example, you could put together two 8800s and you would have a machine which would kick ass. With Lovelace, you're probably going to have to SLI power supplies, especially if you're going with the Titan class card, as there's a rumour that this fully fledged RTX 40 GPU is going to consume up to 900, I'm going to repeat that, 900 watts. Let's get into it. Reading what Cupty7 Kimmy said on Twitter, in fact, there is another full-fat AD102 SKU with 900 watts TGP, 48 gigabytes of 24 Gbps memory. It's got two 16-pin power connectors and higher frequency. No one knows it's going to become an actual product because the test boards of AD102 has more than two 16-pin connectors, so everything is possible. It means the performance, power consumption and volume, a Titan of 800 watts sounds good. Now this basically means that this SKU is going to be the fully fledged AD102 die, which is 144 SMs total. And with 48 gigabytes of RAM, it's not necessarily what is going to be targeted towards most gamers, although let's face it, it's going to be the object of desire of a lot of gamers. Now, curiously on the 900 watts, if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you'll know that I actually mentioned that I'd actually been hearing 900 watts was a potential TGP target of custom AIB 4090 boards, although the way it was explained to me, those were water cooled and all of that stuff, so I don't think it's actually the same rumour. And there's also a lot of confusion as what the power consumption figures are going to be for the RTX 4080 and 4090. Basically, it seems that Nvidia and their IOBs are testing a lot of different configurations at the moment. So whether we see the full 600 watt AD102 4090 or 4090 Ti or whatever it ends up being called actually release, we don't really know yet, and it's going to be very interesting. My personal guess at the moment is that it will launch, because I think that Nvidia and AMD are going to be in stiff competition with one another. And it's going to be very interesting, to be honest, to see how these two companies choose to market their products, as well as what price strategies, and just overall to see how the chips, if you will fall. I suspect it's going to be one of those kind of game of inches things, where if, for example, Nvidia are 3 or 4% faster, let's just say, in a specific title, they're going to be pushing that really heavily. Or, for example, if Nvidia are a little faster in ray tracing, they're going to be making a lot of the promotional material, of course, about ray tracing. I suspect that the next generation is also going to be a really interesting thing when it comes to driver updates, and I'm going to be really interested, basically, just to see how all of this plays out, especially for the mid-range. And there's also another very interesting rumor concerning the power consumption of the mid-range for Nvidia. Again, Kimmy said that I don't care about the release date, I'm just curious about the performance of the 4060. It consumes more power than the RTX 3070. So to put that into some level of context, this means that this card could be consuming midpoint of 200 watts. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the 4060 could absolutely kick ass. Now of course we don't know the performance exactly of these cards yet, and a lot of the rumours have basically said that the 4080 and 4090 are going to be between 2 to 2.4 times faster than the 3090. So it's very possible that the 4060 could be getting close to a 3090, or at least faster than a 3080, which is really impressive, but also does mean, of course, that the cards are going to be pretty damn power hungry. Yeah, again, this is going to be one of those situations where, of course, the card itself is going to definitely need to be quite well ventilated. I suspect that we're going to see the N33 SKUs, which of course are RDNA free based, be significantly less power hungry, and this is definitely going to give, I suspect, AMD a bit of a leg up in small form factor builds. We'll have to wait and see on that though. I also wanted to throw in a little bit of my own information in this video. I've only managed to check this with a single source so far, so I'm doing my due diligence to try and find out a little more information, but I'm putting this out there anyway because, well, just I wonder if it's going to shake any trees. So let's discuss really briefly the 13900K performance DDR5 versus DDR4. As most of you are aware, it's going to support both memory standards, and as you are also probably aware, we're going to see more energy efficient cores with the next generation of Raptor Lake processors. I have been hearing though that there's probably going to be a bigger difference in performance between the DDR4 and DDR5 implementations of the processors. Basically, DDR4 just doesn't have enough memory bandwidth, and so you're going to start to see performance, well, basically the benchmarks are going to start to really highlight that with the higher end SKUs of Raptor Lake. With older Lake, honestly, especially if you're running decently fast DDR4 memory, there's not a huge performance difference. So this does mean that mid-range SKUs of Raptor Lake, you're going to probably be okay with DDR4 memory, especially unless you've got like really slow, like obviously if you're running like 2666, good luck. But if you're running decently fast memory, then you should be fine. But even fast DDR4 memory is probably going to start to bottleneck Raptor Lake, to my understanding, at least what I've been hearing from a single source. Secondly, discussing code names for just a moment. So, as we all know, Threadripper has been kind of a surprise hit for AMD. It wasn't even an intended originally released product, at least according to AMD themselves. They initially only envisioned AM4 Ryzen processors and the server market, right, Epic. But since then, it's been very, very, very well received, especially with content creators and professionals. So there is a lot of discussion what exactly is going to be happening with Threadripper processors. Now again, this is only from a single source. However, I have been told that the code name for Threadripper, the Zen 4 variant, is going to be Storm Peak. And for Zen 5, although they are less certain about this code name, they are hearing it's going to be Da Vinci. As for core counts, it seems that we're going to get 96 or 128 for Zen 4. I've been hearing mixed things, but it does seem to be 96 is most likely. And this is going to, at the very least, double with Zen 5. In fact, I've even heard that the Pro variants could go up to 256 cores, which, quite frankly, is absolutely just... it's just kind of ludicrous, to be honest with you. I mean, imagine if you told someone, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago that there's a potential for a HEDT processor in your home which is going to have like 256 cores. Hell, even a server, the people wouldn't believe you. So that is absolutely bonkers. But it does seem like 192 cores for Zen 5 Threadrippers are almost guaranteed at this point. And again, the desktop SKUs for Zen 5 are going to also see a doubling of core count as well. I do have some additional Zen 5 information that I haven't had time to kind of pass yet for this video. I have already put out a Zen 5 video quite a while ago discussing major changes in the cache structure like L2 and the 3D stacked L3 and other bits and pieces, but I've actually got some updates on that and some preliminaries and 6 information. But if you guys have been watching the channel for the last, well, even the last couple of weeks, you'll know that I got absolutely wrecked over the past several days, unfortunately. Just, it's nothing bad, like I didn't catch anything. Unfortunately, I just deal with like seasonal allergies, and I kind of like changed medication, and yeah, it didn't do much, turns out. It basically just left me pretty much like dead. I know it sounds so ridiculous that seasonal allergies do that, but I had this absolutely terrible like sinus headache. I honestly have not had a sinus headache like that in like, let's say, years, and I was like done. It's like I just kept waking up during the night, like every like hour, like awake, blow my nose, like really feeling sorry for myself, go back asleep. I'm like, yep, this is never gonna get old. Like, seriously, this could stop at some point soon. And then yeah, I've got this other medication. So far, I'm I'm alive, I think. So we'll see. But yeah, just kind of got wrecked. So there have been a couple of projects pushed back. The PlayStation 5 Pro, I just started to record that, so that should be over the next couple of days as well. So just a quick update from me. And that's about it for this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you did, well, it's YouTube, so you know what to do. Leave a like on the video and all of that stuff. And thanks to everyone who has been asking about me. Yeah, it just kind of sucks. Like, I kind of deal with like allergies. Well, you know, it could be worse, right? With that said, take care of yourselves, have an amazing day, stay safe everyone, bye for now.